The current senators in Congress for North Dakota are Republican John Hoeven and Democrat Heidi Heitkamp. While North Dakota has regularly voted Republican for federal offices such as president, there are a few outliers, such as Democrat Heidi Heitkamp's narrow Senate victory in 2012. North Dakota has become a solidly Republican state. Senator Heidi Heitkamp and U.S. Representative Kevin Cramer are running in the November 6, 2018 general election to represent North Dakota in the United States Senate. An at-large representative is one who represents the entire state. For North Dakota is Kevin Cramer. Republican Kevin Cramer has held the House seat of North Dakota since 2012 and is now running for Senate in 2018 against Democrat Heidi Heitkamp, who has held the Senate seat since 2012. Because of this, there is now a vacancy in the House. Republican Kelly Armstrong and Democrat Mike Schneider are running to fill this seat. Issues of interest within the state of North Dakota are limited taxes, indigenous populations, marijuana, and agriculture. To note some demographic trends, a sizable portion of North Dakota lands are held by federally recognized Native American tribes and reservations. Native Americans have become more active in electoral politics, and most vote with the North Dakota Democratic NPL Party. Since the early 90s, the Republican Party has primarily controlled state politics in North Dakota. Today, Democrats, including Heidi Heitkamp, who is up for re-election in 2018, face stiffer odds than ever at North Dakota.
For the Senate race in North Dakota, some major themes and issues were the Kavanaugh confirmation, support for Trump, health care, and tariffs. Regarding the polls, Heitkamp had a slight 3-point lead throughout February, but Cramer has been climbing his lead, starting with 4 points in June, and now is all the way up with a 12.3-point lead in October. The debates were very controversial. Cramer called out Heitkamp for voting against Trump's pick for the Supreme Court, Brett Kavanaugh. This is important because Trump won the state of North Dakota during the presidential election by 36 points. Heitkamp also had to apologize during their first debate for using the names of women who were victims of sexual assault in campaign advertisement without their permission. Heitkamp is against Trump's tariffs because they decrease their important soybean market. Cramer wants to keep Trump's tariffs regardless of the effect on the soybean market because he claims that the most of the soybean farmers fully support President Trump. Regarding the House race, some major themes and issues were the tariffs, health care, and the Farm Bill. Regarding tariffs, Schneider said that Trump's tariffs will cause long and short-term consequences in North Dakota's agricultural industry. Armstrong says North Dakota needs fair and free trade and should be taking advantage of the opportunity to renegotiate with China. Regarding the Farm Bill, both candidates agreed that the Farm Bill, which greatly impacts farm livelihood, will be a priority for them if elected to Congress. In the Senate, nationally, there is a 6 out of 7 chance that the Republicans will keep control of the Senate. Within North Dakota, Republican Cramer has on average an 11-point lead on Heitkamp, which gives him a very good chance of getting a win for the Republicans. These forecasts are both similar in that they both call for Republican wins. This makes sense because the state voted for Trump in the presidential election by a decently large margin, making the state as a whole red. For the House, nationally, the Democrats have a 4 out of 5 chance of winning control over the House. Within North Dakota, Republican Armstrong is ahead of Schneider by 21.3 points, which most likely calls for a Republican win. These forecasts differ because it is normal for the president's party to lose seats in the House, and they lose 24 on average, and the Democrats only need to turn 24 seats in order to take control. North Dakota doesn't fall in as one of those states changing to a Democrat seat because it is a state that is predominantly in support of Trump, and North Dakota only has one congressional district, aka one House seat.
Heitkamp is down by an average of 11 points in the polls due to the fact that the state overwhelmingly voted for Donald Trump. North Dakota has consistently voted Republican nationally. The members of the state and district of North Dakota are extremely Republican. Trends indicate that the state will continue to become more Republican as the years come on. Both the district and state are very similar in their member composition. Although Heitkamp has the incumbency advantage and has raised almost 7 times more money than Cramer, I predict that she will ultimately fall short in the election. North Dakota has always been a largely Republican-run and supported state, with 33.7 percentage points leaning more Republican than the country's average. Kelly Armstrong, the Republican candidate, has been on the Senate in North Dakota since 2013 and has served as the chair of the North Dakota Republican Party since 2015, which shows the state's great trust and enthusiasm with his politics thus far. Armstrong's opponent, Max Schneider, had also held a seat on the Senate. With Armstrong's obvious support from the Republican Party and his current 20-point lead in the polls, the vast Republican registered population will surely vote in Kelly Armstrong to the United States House of Representatives. In conclusion, we predict Republican Kevin Cramer to beat incumbent Heidi Heitkamp with 55% of the vote, winning North Dakota's junior Senate seat. Additionally, we predict Republican Kelly Armstrong to beat Democrat Max Schneider with 60% of the vote, winning North Dakota's one at-large House seat.